Hello you fantastic people and welcome back to Borderlands 3, to my second level 60 flak build, which I'm so keen to bring to you guys. This one is centered around the new complex root sniper rifle that came out in DLC 3. It does so much damage, it's ridiculous. It's so much fun to use, absolutely destroys all the bosses in this game. I'm going to start showing clips on screen while I'm talking so you guys can check it out, see how much damage this thing does. My favorite thing about this build, it doesn't actually have to be fade away and it doesn't have to be rack attack. You can switch between either. You don't have to change any skill points. They'll work all the same and do practically the same amount of damage. I guess it will depend on what anointments you've collected, what class mods you've collected, etc. But from the loot I have and the clips on screen you guys are going to be seeing, I doubt you're going to be able to see any real difference between the rack attack build damage and the fade away build damage, because I literally just changed the action skills. The skill points are exactly the same, and both of them wreck face, and both of them are a lot of fun to use. So I would recommend switching between both and trying out, seeing which one you guys like the most. Now, like I said, this build is centered around the complex root because it's new, shiny, and does crazy amounts of damage. But if you guys want to use other sniper rifles at the same time, it will work all the same skill tree wise. You won't have to change anything up. So if you just want to make this a general sniper rifle build, this is definitely the go-to. I do have some general builds on the way. I'm actually working on several at the same time right now. The Gamma Flak is on the way, and the general fadeaway flak for bossing and mobbing combined and using any weapon you want is almost done. Just collecting some more anointments and that'll be out ASAP for you guys. But as you guys can see, this build absolutely shreds Graveward. It shreds Tyrene, Troy. The new boss is coming up at the end. If you guys don't want to see the final boss in DLC 3, I'll have it on screen, give you a full warning. Just skip the particular time it says to if you don't want to see that. But it literally shreds everyone in this game. I only currently have the fire variant, unfortunately, but once you have all elemental types, every single boss in this game will not stand a chance. It is so much fun to use. Now, you guys can get this weapon from any world drop source, including any main boss or sometimes chests as well. But if you guys want to farm the dedicated drop, go to the DLC 3 planet first. Then go Ashfall Peaks, there we go, that one there. The second fast travel station is the closest one from here. Just run out the back through this mobbing area. This is the closest news station to the farm itself. You want to run out to the right here, jump over, and this is the farm right here. They're a crew challenge boss by the name of Laney. It's actually not the guy with the sword, it's the one in the back. They're invisible and can go invisible, but the farm itself isn't actually too bad because they only have a health bar and it's pretty easy to take them down. Now into the good stuff, the weapons for this build. We're going to go over the complex root. This one is the favorite variant I have got so far. It is a fire and shock combo, always comes with 2 elemental types, and we managed to get 100% ASC on this one, which makes it super strong for both rack attack and 3-shot fadeaway. This one has 13.3k damage, accuracy is super high, handling is pretty average to below average at 56. Reload time is kind of on the slow end with 3.1. Fire rate's pretty quick actually with 8.69, but unfortunately does have that melee one at charge up speed. The magazine size for this one is 6, and I do have some amp with the artifact, I believe, that gets it up to 9. Now, as for shield, I was honestly just using the ASC elemental damage. You can use whatever shield you guys want to use. If you want to try and one-shot them, if you can manage to find a purple one-shot shield, it's probably going to help you out a lot. But there's plenty of different variants you can go for the shields. I just went with the ASC anoint. That was going to help us out with damage like crazy. Paired it with the It's Piss grenade. That one is fantastic if you guys want to destroy bosses even faster. Any enemy damage by the grenade takes 20% increased damage for 6 seconds. We're pairing that with the elemental ASC with radiation and fire combo shreds. People like Graveward, people like the end boss in this DLC, Tyrene, all of those absolutely get wrecked by that combo, so I would recommend those two. Actually, also another great option for shields, particularly if you guys are using the rack attack variant for this build, is a stopgap with the anointment if you can get it. Action skill start, activate any effects that trigger on break or fill for the shield. It essentially makes you immune for 5 seconds every time you use rack attack, which is really good, keeps you alive very easily in rack attack. Now, as for class mod, you actually have 2 great options for these. You can go the stack bot or you can go the dead eye class mods. I went for a stack bot because I farmed Handsome Jack for like, I think 6 to 7 hours today. Managed to get this absolute banger roll for the complex root. You got 33% extra splash damage, 37% sniper rifle damage, plus 64% weapon charge speed is so helpful for that initial charge speed on the melee one weapons. If you guys can't get that, that is a really good roll. Don't blame me if you can't manage to get that one. Any weapon crit, any just regular weapon damage, melee one damage, melee one crit, just regular damage that you can pump into it, it's going to help you out a lot. but it's not necessary. You don't need a god roll for it to work. For example, I used a Deadeye with just regular weapon damage and sniper damage, and that worked amazing as well. Now, as for artifact, the Pearl is of course still the goat of artifacts, but if you guys don't have DLC too, you could use something like an elemental projector to amp your elemental damage. That would be a great way to go about doing it and getting that extra damage if you don't have that DLC. As for Mayhem modifiers, I'm going to start putting these in all of the builds from now. At Mayhem 10, I would highly recommend Holy Crit as a Mayhem modifier. It is so good. It literally just gives you extra crit damage, which if you're in fadeaway, you're always doing crit damage. So I would highly recommend that one. As for, because it's a bossing build particularly, Chain Gang is fantastic because there's very rarely other enemies to like actually create a chain elemental beam. But even if they do, they're pretty obnoxious. You can just jump over them, like you can see them at all times, so they don't sneak up on you. And they don't really do too much damage, so it's pretty manageable. Healy Avenger, same reason, you're just farming bosses, so it's not really going to affect, you know, the bosses are going to get more health because you're not going to be killing the enemies around it. You're just going to be focusing on bosses. And for the easy modifiers, I would highly recommend a Big Kick Energy because, again, just gives you more gun damage. That's fantastic. Particular weapon spread isn't going to affect the sniper rifle whatsoever. And recoil, honestly, I didn't notice it, so it's worth for 25% extra gun damage. But yeah, those would be my recommendations for Mayhem 10 modifiers. Now into the build for this one, guys. If you guys want to go for the fadeaway, go fadeaway, of course, and then go Not My Circus and Unblinking Eye for your augments. That's a 3-shot fadeaway and gets you maximum damage and will take use of that 100% ASC. After the second shot, you'll get max damage. It'll essentially annihilate anything in this game with all those 3 shots. It's really, really good. Plus, of course, Unblinking Eye is just a no-brainer. As for the points, go 5 points in Furious Attack for more damage. Put 5 points into Overclock for increased fire rate because the complex route can be a little slow if you guys are lacking on damage and you need more shots. The faster those are, it's going to be a quicker farm for you guys. Put 3 points in Turn Tail and Run. If you're standing still, you get increased damage again. I always put a point in Lick the Wounds in case I die to a barrel with flak, so that's an option if you guys want to use that one. To get down to the next level, I put a few points in Self-Repairing System for some extra health, just in case, again, barrels. Next, we have Hidden Machine. Definitely put 5 points in Hidden Machine, particularly if you guys are using Fadeaway for increased damage. Put 3 points into the Fast and Nefarious. We get an extra 2 with our class mod, which is really, really good. We get extra gun damage and pet damage by 50%. Now pets actually do some considerable damage. It's actually quite helpful. Plus you put an extra point in the Power Inside, which is the capstone that gets you more damage. Go across to the blue tree, put 3 points into Persistent Hunter for action skill duration and gun damage. Action skill is more helpful for fadeaway, getting into position, and gun damage is just gun damage. Now for the red tree, again, I don't change my skill points depending on which one I'm using. I've been switching between fadeaway and rack attack, having fun with both. If you guys are going to run the rack attack, I put obviously rack attack, and then I put flock and load as well as rack accelerate for my augments. You could put it in health if you wanted more health, but I don't think it's really necessary for the bossing situations. Put 3 points in Leave No Trace for the skills, 2 points into Interplanetary Stalker, or 2 points in Second Intention, whichever you want, because they are both kill skills, and if you're just doing bossing, not really necessary. Put 3 points into Head Count, and put 5 points into Hunter's Eye, get some more damage and action skill cooldown rate. It's really, really good. Because this weapon is a single pellet weapon, you definitely want to put 5 points into Two Fang. You get an extra projectile. It's going to do double the damage, which is really, really good. Put 3 points into Big Game, get extra hunter skill duration and skill effects. Don't need to put points in the Most Dangerous Game because it's a skill point, kill skill point, sorry. So not necessary for this build. Put an extra point into Galactic Shadow crit damage for really, really cheap, which is great. If you're using rack attack, especially, definitely put 5 points into Grim Harvest gun damage, action skill damage, which means rack attack damage, which does a considerable amount, by the way, now. Plus pet damage as well, again helpful with the new patch. Then put a point into Mega Ball as well. As for pet, my recommendation for this build would be the Spider Ant Scorcher, because you get an extra 10% elemental damage, which will really help the complex fruit absolutely destroy everything because it's an elemental weapon. But yeah, that is everything for my level 60 Mayhem 10 complex fruit sniper rifle flak build. It absolutely wrecks bosses and it's so much fun to use. I really enjoyed putting this one together today for you guys. If you guys do enjoy, smash subscribe down below for some more builds and more Borderlands 3 videos. If you guys want to help me out out even more, you could smash the like button and share it. That'd be really cool. If you guys want to check us out over on Twitch, it is linked down below, or just search CodyMQ on Twitch. I live stream every single day just after I post my YouTube videos, which will be running tonight as well with this new build, having fun farming the new weapons, making even more builds, and just generally having a good time with the awesome people in chat. And yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I shall see you guys in the next video and a live stream. Till then, adios.